You're listening to The Dark Mage of Rhudaur, a Middle-earth role-playing, actual play podcast presented by Geek at Arms. So once you're away from the battle on campsite, the smell of troll is not so overwhelming, replaced by this pleasant cedar smoke smell from last night's fire. Yesterday's snowfall makes it easy to spot the troll's tracks, but it was nearly the end of the night when they'd stumbled across you, and there's no telling how far from their lair they'd ranged. You could try to track them backward, or you can engage in a systematic search of the surrounding area. They can't have been too far from home if they expected to get back before dawn, after all. So how do you want to go about it?
I'll try to track them. I think I have tracking. I do. I can finally use it. Can I use it, unmodified, or is there a modifier?
Yeah, unmodified is fine.
All right.
89. Does the actual tracker want to give it a try also?
Oh, sure. One moment, please. We will do that. I keep forgetting I have some value here.
Yeah, and you might check your spell lists also.
Okay.
When the elf
hint, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I hinted at it a little subtly last time. I think I'll be more overt this time. Check your spell lists.
Okay.
When the elf is the worst tracker in the party.
Okay, so yeah, tracking is caster gets a plus 50 bonus to track maneuvers.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome.
That is pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. So let's throw this on the table. See what we got.
158. That is enough for a successful tracking action.
Yes.
Work.
Thank you.
All right. So Mhenuk, you're following the back like in linear fashion. You're just going to retrace their steps entirely, and Mhutvak stops you and says, "Look, why don't we look to see where they're intersecting, and then we'll follow the oldest tracks back instead of going their whole night, and that'd take us 6 hours."
That does make sense.
Yes. And with that good sense, you eventually find the stone troll's lair. Your search has turned up a cave with clear troll prints leading both toward and away. That, combined with the rank smell of rot and other fouler things, tells you that you found the stone troll's lair. The entry looks like it was probably narrow for the trolls, but it's quite ample for the 5 of you. The air inside carries more moisture than the outside air, giving the impression that the cave itself is a living creature, its breath steaming in the cold. Who's going in first?
Well, first of all, how many tracks do there look like there are? Are there more than the trolls we fought?
Based on what Mhutvak can see with his excellent tracking roll, it looks like it was just the two that you fought.
Cool.
And you don't hear any sounds inside the cave. So I ask again, who's going in first?
I will go in first.
A few steps inside, your foot comes down on something squishy. You slip a little, but manage to catch yourself before you fall into the decaying remains of some large mammal. A deer, maybe. The stench only grows stronger as you disturb the unfinished meal. Your eyes quickly adjust to the gloom, and you see mounds of bones, mostly animal, but some obviously humanoid skulls among them. A couple still wore the remains of torn-apart chainmail of familiar design. Unfortunate Volsegi warriors caught outdoors at night. In the back of the cavern, it narrows to two openings. A quick look into one shows nothing more than a palette of animal skin smeared in, well, nothing you'd care to spend any time examining. The second has much the same, but there's a further passage in the back that leads to the troll's hoard. There are mounds and mounds of coins here. Most of it looks to be copper, but there's a sizable amount of tin pieces too. Grabbing a handful or two, you can see most of it's old Arnorian mint, although there's still some more modern Cardalanian and Arthadane coin as well, and some bearing a spiked crown on one side and the fearsome lidless eye on the reverse. So what do you want to do?
Those look like coins from Mordor, no?
Yeah.
The question is it from prey or from payment?
Would a perception roll help me or hurt me in what I'm seeing?
It won't hurt. Go ahead and make a perception roll.
Okay. Probably won't do anything, John.
Are trolls intelligent enough to bargain with? I guess if they're collecting coin,
some
they
are.
must like it.
Stone trolls aren't the most sophisticated. Forest trolls tend to be the smartest of the bunch.
Okay.
Even if it is payment, what are they going to spend it on?
Right.
Who's actually going to do the business with the troll? Oh, look, here comes the troll coming in to buy a cabbage.
All right, 66. You don't notice anything particularly noteworthy here. Big piles of money, which is always interesting.
Yeah, I want to take a closer look at the corpses and see if there's anything particularly southern in there.
The ones that are still recognizable as, their nationality,
Yeah.
they look like the Northrons that you've been assisting.
Okay.
There's maybe some scraps of clothing that looks like it's probably the local hillman.
All right.
But it's kind of hard to tell because, all of the fleshy bits have been eaten for the most part.
Yep. How do you feel about blood money, Mhutvak?
As fine as I don't get any on me.
That's what
Fair
we
enough.
have Baga for.
So do you want to spend the time counting it up and parceling it out?
I would say let's just grab as much as each can carry and, feels comfortable, and then let's go.
Yeah, I like money.
As dwarves, you've got a pretty good eye for metals and monies. So you'd guess that there's probably somewhere around 50 pounds worth of coin here. I'd like Mhenuk and Aradion to both make perception rolls also.
Perception.
120. 76 is a partial success, which means about how much weight does each of you want to take on in coin?
How do we figure out our encumbrance limit?
That's a good question.
Because I'm close-ish to mine, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm close to mine too. Let me look.
You can go up to, it looks like the break points are 25 pounds, 35 pounds, 45 pounds, 60 pounds.
Oh, that's encumbering weight is 8 pounds. Okay, total weight's 23, encumbering weight is 8. Okay.
Right, so you should be at a minus 10 then for encumbrance penalty. Right, anyway, so you've got 50 pounds worth of coin. If you want to take all of it, then I'll just go ahead and give you all of it. Otherwise, there's going to be a percentage of it that's going to be better than the rest.
Yeah, I think I'll take 10.
10 pounds?
Yep.
I'm just trying to figure out how many more encumbering weight pounds I have until it starts to affect me.
Let me take a look at your character sheet real quick.
Because right now I'm carrying 22 encumbering pounds.
I'll see. What's your total weight carry? Oh, 21 encumbering pounds, you said?
22.
22. So then you should be getting a penalty of -5 or -10, depending on what your character's weight is.
Okay.
And then it'll go up when you hit 26 pounds.
So I guess I'll just take a little bit then.
Okay, how much?
A couple pounds. Let's say 2 pounds.
2 pounds. And Aradion?
I'm testing to see how much I can take before it starts mattering.
Yeah, Bryan, go ahead and drop me. Are you putting it on our sheet, or are you putting it on your own?
No, I'm just taking a little bit of some notes here so that I know.
Drop me to 5 pounds, please.
5 pounds? Okay.
Please, yes.
So how much has already totally been taken?
7 pounds.
So that leaves 43. 43.
You can also make Baga and Glock carry some of it. I'm going to assume they're each going to take 5 pounds.
Oh, we could just give all of it to Glock.
That's true.
Then if we ever want it back, we can beat him up and rob him. And he won't be able to fight back.
That's true. We just need to watch that wall of fire or wall of cold.
Do encumbrance penalties apply to spell casting, though? That's the thing. If you load him up, then...
Well, the trouble is if you load him up too much that he can't run away. So, and spellcasters kind of need to stay far away from them.
I could take everything. I can't take all 50, but I think I can take everything that you all aren't carrying.
5, 10, 15, 16, 17, minus 50.
Let's put it this way. I've dropped 44,000 gold coins, and I'm still not encumbered yet.
The character sheet is broken, then don't take that as gospel.
No, I already tried adding 1 million coins, and even with 16,000 pounds of weight, the sheet wasn't updating.
And how did you get a hold of 1 million coins? No,
I didn't.
I'm kidding. I'm teasing.
It was a thought experiment that Mhenuk was having. These are the kind of things that dwarves dream about,
See, that's one of the things I like about you, Jacob. You have these thought experiments.
Let me try it this way, then. This way might work.
See, if I make your Athalis weigh 50 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I just had a thing down here for coin. Okay, how much was my Athelas supposed to weigh?
It's 0. It's
Okay.
That's an awfully personal question, by the way. I don't want to tell you how much my Athelas weighs.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's funny.
That much, though.
I'm very curious now about how this sheet is coded up, because the coin weight clearly feeds into two different places.
Ridiculously complex.
I can only imagine.
I think I also maybe 7 pounds.
7 pounds? Okay.
Yeah, 7 pounds. That's how much I can take. I can take 7 pounds of coins without going covered.
24 pounds, so roughly half of it. So that means that you're getting, it's going to be almost entirely copper. So that's good.
Oh.
However, amongst the copy, as you're shoveling it into backpacks and pouches and so forth, you also find a small amount of silver, 28 silver pieces, and a total of 1,500 copper. And you can divvy that up once you're back in civilization as you see fit.
Sounds good.
And while you're doing all of this scooping, you find a couple of other things. Half buried under the mounds of money is a suit of plate mail. It's human-sized but well-articulated. Fine example of craftsmanship. Would anyone like to look more closely at it?
Yeah, I will examine it to see just how fine it is.
It is extremely lightweight, half as heavy as it should be.
Okay.
You're not sure if there's any enchantment at work or if it has something to do with the forging techniques. Make a blacksmith roll, please.
Nice.
Oof.
You're pretty sure that this must be like magic here, working on this. There's no way that anybody could do this normally.
Yep.
It's got to be enchanted. You also find a strange hand weapon. At first you think it's a dagger, but it isn't edged. It's made up of a long central hexagonal spike, a little longer than your forearm, flanked by 2 keons curved from forward to flank the spike. The handle is spiral wrapped in a rough twine, and it has a hexagonal pommel. After a little bit more searching, you find a matching weapon in the moldering remains of a belt with loops to hold them. In case.
So when you say matching weapon, just another one of the same thing?
Yep.
Okay.
These are sai.
So they're like tridents. Is that am I hearing correctly?
Raphael the Ninja Turtle?
Yeah, size.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Center prong longer. Other. Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of weapons are they for the purpose of rolling?
They don't really fit necessarily into one-handed edged, but that's, I guess, the only chart that we have that works for it. So
okay.
Oh, okay. Because we don't have fist weapons, do we?
No. So it's a one-handed edged weapon, but it will do puncture criticals.
Makes sense.
And with enough training, then someone could also use it to enhance their parrying.
Well, yeah, I'm curious about the armor. I'd kind of rather take this than coin, if I'm honest.
Well, if you take the whole suit, it would be prohibitively encumbering.
Yes.
But you could take like a couple pieces of it just for examining the technique later on.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's what I'll have to do. Make a note of this place.
Jacob, maybe we could just split it. You could wear the top, and I could wear the bottom.
I'll sit on your shoulders, and we can just wear the whole thing.
There's just like 2 dwarfs in a trench coat then?
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
And finally, there's a small book. It's got wooden covers bound with sinew, and this cover has the same spiked crown as is on some of the coins. The language inside is Elvish Tengwar script, but the words are definitely not Elvish.
Oh.
Anybody who speaks any Elvish dialect at rank 4 or higher, which is probably our elf.
And me.
Do you have Sindarin at rank 4?
I have Sylvan at 4.
Sylvan at 4? Sylvan doesn't actually use the Tengwar.
Okay.
I have Sindarin at 3.
And 3 is not quite enough to be able to sound it out, but if Greg reads it out loud,
yep.
Mhutvak, I believe you know Morbeth, the Black Speech.
I do.
You're pretty sure that this is the Black Speech.
Oh, that. Oh, joy.
And it seems to be some kind of a prayer book asking for blessings of light and understanding.
Okay.
So who wants to do the prayers?
Oh, I was going to give it a light for sure.
Yeah, given that we found that book, I definitely want to make sure that we're carrying at least some of the coins with the symbols on it.
Okay.
So that we have evidence of that?
For the purposes of rules text, this is a spell book and it contains the sound and light waves list from the channeling spells.
Okay.
Whether or not you want to use a book written in the Black Speech is up to you.
I'm totally willing to give it a light.
I'll let the 3 mages fight over it.
Oh, I don't want
it. All right. So then that pretty well covers everything that you find in the troll's lair. What is your plan from here? It is late morning.
I think did somebody take the book and the weapons?
No one has declared so.
Does anybody want the weapons?
I don't care about the weapons. I want to burn the book.
Yeah.
I hate to leave things behind, but I've got enough, to work with. So.
The smell of troll should keep any sane people away from here.
Okay. We can just rebury it or put it back in the corner or whatever.
Yep.
I'm good with that.
So leaving the sai behind?
Yes.
And leaving the book or burning it? Or does somebody want to slip it in their pocket?
I am anti-book burning. I'll carry it if Aradion doesn't want to.
Yeah. I don't want to deal with it because of the Black Speech, but I don't want to burn it because I'm kind of like that too. But if you're willing to carry it, brother, carry it.
Sure. I'll carry it because I'm the least likely to use it in any particular way, I think.
Yeah. Right. No temptation to cast spells from it because you can't cast spells.
Yeah. Right. What kind of spell book did you say it was?
It's the Sound and Light Ways channeling list.
Sound and Light Ways.
And it can be used to learn the list. It counts for as 1 development point toward learning the list. Or you can cast the spells directly from it as runes. But as you do so, they'll disappear from the pages.
All right.
So, Mhutvak, would you like to make another tracking roll to see if you can pick up Ethacali's trail?
Yes. Yes, I would. All right.
You may, of course, cast your spell again if you want to spend the power points.
Yes, I will spend that. Now, is that automatically going off my sheet, or do I need to reduce?
No, you'll need. What's the level of that spell?
Hold on. Let's see. It is
level 3. Looks like.
Yes.
And you had that spell adder, I think.
I did.
So you can cast it with the spell adder for free. I think it's a +2 spell adder, so that if you used it for the first one, then you'd still have all of your 5 power points left, or you can use your 3 of your power points to cast it.
Okay. I have 5 power points. I thought I had only 4, but yes. Okay. So 5 of those. And the spell adder is adding 2, correct?
Yeah, it adds 2 spells, essentially giving you 2 additional spell slots of whatever level you want.
I will use the adder for the tracking.
Okay. So that gives you +50. 113.
Nice.
So that is a success.
Okay.
So coming out of the troll's lair, you look around and you've got a kind of a vantage down the side of the hill to another area. And you can see where it looks like somebody has been moving in the direction of the east. So if you come down and go straight east, you'll be able to pick up Ethacali's trail down there.
Okay, so I'm going to head down towards where you've got the Turthon marked, and I'm going to go to the east.
You're going to be going...
that way. I got you. Okay. All right. Look at my counterparts and say, gentlemen, heading east.
All right. Away from the ridge. Yes.
Yep. You've actually been paralleling his trail just 1 hex to the west of him.
I see.
Nice.
All right. So you're coming down the hillside, entering heavier forest. I think we put Mhenuk in the back last time, but is that the marching order you still want?
Yes. So it'd be Mhenuk, NPCs, Glock, Mhutvak, and Aradion.
So Mhenuk, make a perception roll, please.
Okie dokie.
Wow.
Nice.
That's great.
All right. You get this prickling sensation on the back of your neck. You are quite certain that there is something or somebody watching you. The instinct of it causes you to look around.
Okay.
And you have just that much warning to see a very large wolf coming up your back trail, flashing through between the trees. And when I say very large wolf, I mean 6 feet tall.
Whoa.
Big wolf.
Who's in front?
Mhutvak.
Aradion.
Or is
Aradion's in
Aradion?
front? I thought
Yeah,
figured
he's
Mhutvak was because you're tracking.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, and then he's right behind me. Yes.
Elf, your wolf friends are back and they're bigger. Everyone collapse. I want to try to get back to back with people.
All right, so these wolves, or this wolf, charges up toward you, and I thought I had a map of this encounter. Oh, there it is.
It's a very spooky wolf. I know, like...
Aga doesn't have a nameplate.
Oh,
Doesn't
wow.
he? So actually, you only see the one in front, and he comes up, and he kind of slides to a halt right in front of you as you're starting to gather together.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks at you and says, "We have come seeking the wizard. Where is the wizard?" And you start to see all of these other wargs cordoning off, coming out of the trees around you.
Wait, did it say it had come to see the wizard?
Yes.
It talks now.
Well, to tell the truth, we're on our way as well. You're welcome to go ahead of us. Please feel free to pass our humble party in peace.
I'm convinced.
It takes a few paces left and right and winds up standing just a couple of feet closer to you.
What language is it speaking?
It's speaking Westron, but
Okay.
kind of weirdly accented because its mouth isn't exactly made for it.
Yeah.
Do I see this org talking to Mhenuk?
Oh, yes. Yes, you all see it and aware of it and hear it.
Okay.
And it lowers its head a little bit and it sniffs and says, I do not smell the wizard. Do you follow it also?
I'm simply following my fellows. I'm afraid I'm not as skilled a tracker as even a skilled dwarf. I look back towards Mhutvak.
Throwing your friend under the bus, huh?
to say nothing of a wolf.
So it growls and it moves a little bit around toward the middle of your column and Mhutvak. It looks up toward the front and says, "Do you follow the wizard?"
Follow the wizard? We're not following the wizard. We're tracking the wizard. Do you care to join us? Because we want his head.
You will have to stand in line, short one. The Lord of Wolves wants his head first for his failure.
Well, tall one, be my guest. Lead the way.
The Lord of Wolves. I don't like that. Not at all.
I don't like his failure. His failure's probably us.
Very well. Do not interfere. And the wolves all rush off in the same direction that you were previously moving.
Okay.
Zoom, 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 zoom.
All right, so let's have a powwow, guys. Should we follow him? Or should we kind of flank this and maybe come back around?
I don't think we're going to get on the other side of them. Being as they are giant wolves and even bigger than giant wolves, they're going to outpace us.
I'm not saying keep up with them. Go ahead.
I want to start from the very beginning. Has anyone else even heard of wolves this large, or of this Lord of Wolves?
You've all heard rumors that that wargs can talk. They don't do it very often.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, since they're serving as mounts for the higher ranking orcs, they're not really regarded as thinking beings in their own right. But it's not completely surprising that you might encounter some that can talk. And only the lead wolf was really, really huge.
Okay.
The others were still larger than normal wolves, but within the range of like dire wolf size.
They were just normal
wargs.
Normal wargs. But nobody else knows about the Lord of Wolves.
I've only heard rumors, my friend.
I think we've only heard the same rumors.
So what do you guys make of, what are we to make of this failure that the wizard's being held accounted for?
I don't make much other than worry. Seems that we've got trolls taking things from people from dark places. We have wargs hunting wizards. and yet the wizard and the troll shows up to siege the tower, and the wargs seem to be there as well. I'm worried that we're caught in the middle between forces bigger than any of us.
My vote be to follow, but follow at a distance.
Yes, and carefully. What do you think of these woods, Elf?
My vote's the same. Follow at a distance. Keep ourselves up.
Yeah, so we'll follow, but we're going to follow at a distance.
Okay, well, the wargs are pretty easy to follow since they've passed since the snow started falling. And so you find it pretty easy to track them. I use the right tool.
We just sniff for droppings, right? Just kidding.
Or you could follow their very large footprints.
Yeah.
So you wind up, you wind up in this hex up here.
Okay.
Where you see that the warg's trail suddenly turns sharply to the right. You've just crossed this river that comes down from between these two ridges. And apparently, whatever trail they're following didn't continue in the same direction that it had been, and it's turned suddenly to the south. Mhutvak, if you would like to give me another tracking roll.
I'm not too keen on this, my brothers. I'm just going to do a standard track this time.
Okay, 57. All right, you cannot tell what might have happened that would account for Ethacali suddenly going to the south, if indeed he did, if the wolves are still following him. But you can see that there's signs of an older trail that's been traveled several times off to the northeast, and whatever is going on to the south doesn't seem like it's been traveled very often.
My brothers, I think we should continue northeast. What say you?
I respect your best judgment.
Aradion, you in?
Yep, you seem to know where you're going better than anybody else.
I seem to recall hearing about some kind of chasm to watch out for, right? Am I right?
Keep our eyes.
That was among the information that Terabel gave you, yes.
Yes, so we should look. Ah, yes, Terabel's been here before, too, at some point.
All right.
All right, yeah, we'll continue northeast, Bryan.
So this is getting to about nightfall.
All right.
You don't encounter anything else the rest of the day. It does continue to get colder, and the sky remains gray and dreary, as much as you can see through the trees at any rate, which is a little bit easier here since you're following the river. Are you using the same watches as before?
I'd like to see if one of us can find maybe a rise that we can set camp against, or thicker area of trees that may have a little clearing with them that we could kind of use as cover.
All right.
Would that require perception or?
Make it a tracking roll.
Tracking, okay.
At plus 40.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. You find what you're looking for almost immediately.
Wonderful.
It's this perfect campsite that meets all of your needs.
Awesome. Okay. So, Jacob, we had, I took second watch. I think Glock took first, I believe.
Let's see. According to the notes that I had,
yeah, what do you have?
it was Mhutvak and Aradion for first watch, Glock and Aradion for second watch, and then Baga and Mhenuk for third watch, and then everybody was awake for fourth.
Okay. I'm good with that. Aradion, you good to stick with me?
Yep.
All right. So everybody make a perception roll for your respective watches. Aradion needs to make 2.
Yep.
All right. So then Mhutvak and Aradion, during your first watch, the temperature continues to drop. Poor Baga is starting to suffer, and even you dwarves, except for Mhenuk, are feeling it. Baga says, we should keep the fire going through the night if we can.
I shrug. All right.
So the first part of the night passes uneventfully, other than the cold continuing. The second watch, Aradion, in the dead of night, there's this constant crackling sound as the smaller branches of the trees freeze, and some of them are breaking off.
Oh, so it's actually cold. Ooh.
At a little after 1 a.m., though, the cloud cover breaks, and Aradion shines brightly down on you against the tapestry of the night sky. Baga and Mhenuk, you awaken to find your water frozen solid and your blankets crusted with frost.
Mm-hmm.
The air is dry and so cold that you start to feel that crackly sensation that indicates that even the moisture inside your noses has started to freeze. And as the bitterly cold night draws to a close, the sun turns the eastern sky gray. Clouds have again crept in to conceal the stars, and another light snow has begun. As you delve deeper into the forest, the trees seem to crowd in around you. Their branches intertwine over your heads, and even the leafless deciduous trees seem to block more of the light than they properly should. The woods groan and creak around you, reminding you that the forest is no place for a proper dwarf. Aradion, you feel as though there's some deep, sinister spirit at work here, bending the forest into an alignment to a dark purpose.
Yeah, it doesn't sound fun.
Mhutvak, go ahead and make a tracking roll, please. All of your PowerPoints and spell ladders have recharged for the day, by the way.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Okay, so tracking, and I will use one of my PowerPoints.
Ouch. You rolled a literal 1.
Oh, wow.
But even so, you still got a 90, over 90. So you're having just a little bit of trouble getting started in the morning. You're seeing the signs, but you can't quite figure out what they mean. So if you just, spend half a minute thinking about it, you can try again. And you still get the same bonus because the spell hasn't expired yet.
Okay. Oh, you want me to try again?
Yep, roll again.
Okay. But not adding the 50.
No, you still get to add the 50 because it's only been 30 seconds and the spell's still going.
Gotcha.
You're feeling a little bit better about it. How long does that spell last? Oh, as long as you concentrate, so you can keep it on indefinitely.
Okay.
So I'm going to assume that since with a plus 90 you can't actually fail, you are eventually going to get a success.
Sure.
So you continue to track the old trail to the northeast. I should have just gone ahead and looked at those numbers to start with. You continue pushing on. That oppressive sense of foreboding continues, but nothing actually happens. And eventually you arrive. See, you're still on the southern side of the river.
Okay.
And you follow the trail up the hill, and you come to that ravine that Terabelle was talking about. The wizard's tracks and the troll's tracks stop here. Looking across, you can see that they pick up again on the other side.
And the wolves had turned south.
Yes.
Back, right?
Correct. They are probably tracking where Ethacali is rather than where he was.
Yep.
So this is a kind of a narrow gorge. It would take you probably most of the rest of the day to climb down and climb back up the other side if you want to do it that way, or you can try and find a way across by different methods.
How wide is it?
It is about 40 feet wide at its narrowest.
I have a net. Could we unweave the net into rope?
Or you could just say, hey, we have rope based on our...
that is true.
Or
buying stuff at the time of needing it rule.
How cold is it for water? Like if water were to be, how long would it actually take that water to like instantly freeze over?
To instantly freeze happens instantaneously, but that won't happen here. It would take, if you had like a cup of water, it would take 10, 15 minutes probably to freeze, or much, much faster if you set Glock on it.
Are you thinking about filling the entire ravine with water?
Kind of. I was just thinking a lot of wall of waters. Just create our own temporary ice bridge.
Well, that's certainly a unique application of that spell. Do you have enough PowerPoints to pull that off?
You said it's 40 feet is narrowest. A wall of water is 10 feet. And it costs 5 PowerPoints. I have 10 PowerPoints plus 2 spell ladders.
So yeah, you could do it 4 times and get across that way.
Wow.
How does Wall of Water work, though? Do you have to concentrate on it to keep it up?
It's 1 minute or concentration.
Right.
So it stays 1 minute on its own, but then you can also concentrate on it to keep it up longer.
Okay, so we would have to get you across at the end.
Kind of the reverse parting of the Red Sea.
Yes.
All right. let me think about this for a second, because I like the idea, but how thick is the wall of water? 1 foot.
Yeah.
So a foot of ice. If you set it like so it was wide enough that you could walk across it easily, I think it would break off. But if you set it so that it's only a foot wide, everybody would have to make a tricky maneuver to balance on the top of
the
ice wall. which could also be fun. So I'm going to let you do that.
Well, I was going to say, if Glock can do this, we can kind of make it a little bit wider. We both just kind of do it down.
I don't think Glock can make a wall of water, but he can freeze water like nobody's business.
Okay, I thought he had creations, because I thought he also had air wall.
He has air wall, yes, but air wall is not ice wall.
Well, it's part of creations, and that's where water wall is.
Yeah, his
Greg,
lists are a
you
little
get us
different.
killed, buddy.
Let me see if he's got a spell that does that.
Yeah.
He has Ice Law, but Ice Law doesn't get Wall of Ice until like level 8 or something like that. The only thing he can do is a Wall of Cold, which is not solid.
Yeah.
But he can freeze liquid. So you make the wall, and he freezes it. And then you make another wall, and he freezes that one. And everybody crosses on the narrow ice bridge. I like it.
If we have like 10-foot rods, we can kind of use them for balance, like a tightrope walker.
And, just tie yourselves together, so if one falls, you all fall.
And if you start going that way, just make sure the others fall the opposite way, so neither of you fall all the way down.
Just
somehow yeah. You're having too much fun with this, Greg.
No fun allowed in this game.
Well, not of our lives' expense. I mean,
this is what you get for adventuring with dwarves. They're so dour.
If you all want to feel better about this, it's only 40 feet. I could just toss you across.
You don't toss a dwarf.
Yeah, especially with my 29 strength. You're not going very far. I am not a strong elf.
Okay. So we end up making this across, or we kind of...
Everybody needs to make a moving maneuver roll if you're willing to trust the weird ice bridge.
What do you say, Mhenuk?
I would want to figure out a safer way to get across the ice bridge. I'm just trying to figure out what that looks like.
What would there be any modifiers on this?
I'm going to call it a very hard maneuver. No modifiers go into the actual roll, but it goes into a different column on the table.
How deep is the ravine?
That's a good question. We'll make it 5d10. It's 33 feet deep.
So
falling probably won't kill you.
Yeah.
But you might break a leg and land in the river and then drown.
It would maim us in the middle of a cursed forest.
The good news is I can repair bones tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
We'll drag you out, keep you warm, and then when tomorrow comes, we'll fix your broken leg. You'll be fine.
Like, I'm wondering if you could, like, slide across so that you don't have to walk, you know?
Like just kind of grip it's only a foot, so, like, lay on your belly, just kind of pull yourself across.
Yeah, exactly. The problem is that it's a wall, right? So it's, like, 10 feet down, so you can't, like, hug it.
Right. I mean, you can put a hand on either side of it.
Around it, but, yeah, use the size to kind of just pull yourself across.
And it should probably be mentioned that the top surface probably isn't going to be like nice and flat because it's this burning wall of water that's been frozen.
I'm not feeling this. The idea is amazing, but the implementation is
Mhutvak is standing at the edge of the ravine, looking at this surface, thinking, "I don't think so."
Yep. I look down. I think of the wolves. Truth to tell, my friends, I'd rather chance it with large wolves.
So we're not doing it. Okay.
Well, we could split up. Mhenuk and I can head down and look for another crossing. If you guys want to slide your butts across this wall and see how far you get.
I can only imagine that Glock is just excited about this idea.
Oh. He's probably singing Yankee Doodle Dandy while he's sliding.
All the way off the side.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just can see it now.
Okay.
Yeah, I hate to be a killjoy there, Aradion, but I'm thinking I'm agreeing with Mhenuk that we need another...
Well, if we can find an area that's only 20 feet across, then we actually have 2 foot width.
Yeah. It's a beautiful bridge. It's a shame nobody can use it.
Well, yeah, you do the 2 foot width, and then you don't put them right next to each other. You kind of give them a bit of distance. That way, if you start falling, you can catch yourself in the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's an idea. Cool. But you said it would be possible to climb down and then back up.
Yes.
Just
That would
take
be
one.
merely a medium climb maneuver.
Yeah. Hank, just do it the old school way.
Yeah. Climb it is for me. I think for you.
Stay close to the rocks.
If you're willing to leave at least one rope behind, I would even lower it to a light maneuver with the assistance of the rope.
Okay. I can sacrifice my rope.
Everybody who wants to climb should make a climb maneuver.
Sounds like we're leading the climb route instead of the ice route.
And
Okay.
no modifiers.
Nope. That'll
There you
be
go.
taken care of on the
Ooh.
The elf
All
just
right.
jumps down and jumps right
Where's
back.
the moving maneuver table?
It is in the subcategory of maneuvers tables.
Yes, there we go. All right.
So then your 40
And this is a light, you said.
means you don't fall, but it's going to
nice.
take you made it 60% of the way.
Yeah.
So you're part of the way back up the other side.
Mm-hmm.
The others both managed to get over 100%. So 20 for that one and then 40. So let's inform this with Tales from the Loop mechanics and say, if you guys would like, you may offer your excess success, which is fun to say, to Mhenuk.
And we're just assuming Glock and
Glock and
Baga.
Baga will make it over because they're NPCs, and
Okay.
I don't want to take the chance of killing Glock with a bad roll.
Yeah. Whatever is mine is my brother's, so
Yep.
Mhenuk can have my...
I make it down and part just a little bit up, and then I freeze and hug the rope.
and we
Pull me up.
I got you. We got you. You're good.
All right.
I'll do my excess, whatever word you said was fun to say.
Yeah. And I'm shivering at the top of the cliff on the other side.
see this
Kiss
would
the
be
ground.
easier if we just walked across a bridge.
Yeah.
I'll just give you the glare.
All right. You are across, standing on the other end of the ravine, and it is now evening. So time for camping.
Okay.
So same watches again?
Sure. Perception rolls again?
Yes, please.
We're all tired today, apparently.
Let's see. Who's on watch with Mhutvak? Aradion,
Aradion. Yeah.
who doesn't notice that you have fallen asleep on your watch.
Yeah.
And Mhenuk's got last watch. All right. So the night progresses fairly uneventfully, but as the sun starts to filter down through the canopy above, the wind shifts, blowing now from the west. You catch a faint whiff of wood smoke. Pausing in the act of breaking camp, you're all still for a few moments listening, and you can hear from far off the sound of people speaking.
What language? Or is it just babbling?
You can't discern words from as far away as you are. You just hear the sound of voices.
Mhenuk, are you hearing what I'm hearing?
I think so. It smells like we're downwind of them, too.
Maybe that's a good thing, correct?
I hope so. But it may mean that they realized we were here yesterday. The wind switched, you said, right?
Yes, it is now blowing from the west.
And where are the tracks going? Which direction are the tracks
The
going?
tracks are going to the east.
Well,
And the smell and the sound is coming from the west?
Yes.
yeah. Well, east takes us down the trail and away from others. So I suppose that's what we've got. I'm worried that our way back now is filled with multiple things we don't understand.
Compromised, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I say we stay east.
There is still snow on the ground, which means that you'll be easy to follow if they are looking for you or hostile toward you.
That's true. Unless we could melt, well, probably not enough. I was wondering if magic could melt the snow behind us and let it refreeze.
So could we alter our tracks somehow from this point?
You could certainly make that attempt. It would be another tracking maneuver versus whatever tracking skill that they've got.
Okay.
Yeah. Or we
I'll
could try to
converse.
approach them.
Yeah.
We could try to sneak up on them and see what's up.
I'm
kind of
hesitant
thinking,
to do that, but if you're feeling that way, we could try it.
do we want to wait on Aradion?
You sit around twiddling your thumbs, waiting for the elf to come out of his meditation.
That's right.
Yep.
One of you bring a Sharpie, draw things on his face.
Oh, yes. The little curly Q mustache.
Revenge for that incident the other night.
Yes.
All right, so the discussion has been there's sound and the smell of wood smoke coming from the west. The trail that you're following is going to the east, and the debate is currently, do you want to try and just disguise your tracks and continue eastward, or try and spy out whoever might be coming up behind?
Let's see. I think disguising's a good way. Is disguising and spying both an option? Like,
Yeah, obviously you could do both.
Yeah, disguise and then kind of stay off to the side to spy to see who it is.
Oh, you want to wait and see if they pass?
Yeah.
That's an idea.
That is an idea. I do like that.
Okay. Well, let's disguise, hide, and spy.
Okay. Go ahead and make a tracking roll to
Okay.
hide traces of your presence.
All right.
All of
And
us
I'm
are
going to use one of my PowerPoints.
This isn't actually following somebody, so the tracking spell won't work.
Very good. Okay.
But you might have other spells
All right.
that will help you hide. I think Aradion might have a spell that will help him too.
Yeah, I'm thinking limb walking might be good, maybe.
Do we all need to make track rolls?
No, just Mhenuk.
Okay.
You mean Mhutvak?
Move
Yes.
back right, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Keep doing that.
All right. So, I've got Path Tale, Path Lore, and Path Finding, but I don't think those are going to help.
Don't you have another list? You've also got Nature's Guises there if you scroll down a bit.
Oh, there it is. Got it. Okay.
I have limb walking that once I get up the tree will help me.
Okay, so I could use self-cloaking during the hiding part of this.
That'll help just you.
Okay.
You could also use Hues, your first level spell. Oh no, that's just you, the caster.
Yeah.
The second level spell, Shade.
Shade. Okay.
Hiding.
Yeah. Shadow,
Everybody within 100
darkness.
feet.
All right. I'm good with the second level Shade. 10 minute per level. So let's see. That is a plus 25. So that'd be the track roll plus 25, correct?
Well, the tracking roll will just be the tracking roll. Shade will help everybody hide. In their
Gotcha.
hiding roll.
All right. Here is the tracking roll.
84. So you managed to cover your signs at least well enough to. You don't think that it was good enough to prevent anybody from knowing that somebody was here, but you think that you obscured it well enough that they're not going to think that you're still around. And so if you wanted to use both Shade and Self-Cloaking, then you'd have a total of plus 100 on your hide, and everybody else would just get plus 25.
No, I'd rather share it out.
Okay.
Share it out.
All right, so everybody make a hide maneuver with a plus 25.
And hide doesn't receive the bonus that you add, right? So you need to add it afterwards?
What do you mean?
Because this is the dual one, right?
Right.
I thought that the modifier only applies to stalking.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
So, well, that was my roll at 0 in any case.
Okay. So let me take a look at what the hiding gets the bonus and stalking does not.
Oh, okay.
So
I rolled that at 0 anyway. So I guess that would be a 105 in theory.
So 88, 97, and 80. Oh, and you didn't add it, so then 105.
Yep.
So our smallest one is 88. So
I'm sorry.
Naturally, it's the elf. Elves are supposed to be sneaky.
I'm a city elf. Thank you very much.
Okay, they do not seem to notice that anybody was here, nor do they notice that anybody is watching them. So eventually...
May I perceive it who they are?
Yes, I'm about to tell you who they are.
Oh, okay.
Eventually, the sounds of conversation are growing closer and closer. Mhutvak gestures everyone, puts everybody in a place where they're well camouflaged, and then he does something that causes the shadows to just deepen a little bit. It gets a little harder to see. And a few minutes later, a group of 5 humans comes into view. They're dressed in leather armor, carrying crossbows and swords, and these are Kultirith, the soldiers who are supposedly in charge of Rhudaur, but have been working for Angmar, the ones that you fought at Inari's Drift.
Mm-hmm.
Like 7 sessions ago. And they're moving as though they're not particularly tracking anybody or something. They seem to know where they're going. They follow the track that you've been following, down the hill into that little river valley. Given that there is still snow on the ground, they'll make it even easier to follow the trail to wherever it is you're going, assuming that they're going to the same place. Or you could ambush them if you like, I suppose.
I'm thinking we follow them.
If they know
Yeah,
where they're
I think we
going.
follow them first, then ambush if we need to.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Things timed out a little bit differently than I expected. So my notes are no longer any good.
Oh. Didn't think we could do that good with curveballs this time.
Oh, wait till you're doing experience and you have to look at all of the maneuvers we've done. It's all maneuvers and 3 spells cast by Mhutvak.
Well, and 4 water walls cast by you.
Yeah.
It wasn't until you cast your spells that they decided this is a bad idea.
Once they saw it and went, that doesn't look fun. I wonder how long it'll actually take for that to melt, because the water is concentration to hold it in place. Then it was frozen, and it's below freezing, so we fast froze it, but...
It'll probably give out under its own weight eventually.
Yeah.
So I should probably mention that the Kultirith would have seen it. So as they were passing that area, they're like, what in the heck happened here? Except they say it in a much more Middle-earthian fashion, forsooth. What manner of sorcery be this?
That's great.
All right, so after they've finished gawking at the ice bridge, they continue on down the hills, and they kind of take a little bend around the edge of this ridge. And as you come around the hill, there's this place where the trees get thinner, not necessarily because there's anything that would cause them to be thinner, but it looks like they've all been dead for a long time. It's just more than just dormant. Even the conifers are just brown needles, just dry. A lot of them have fallen down. There's been a dam of sorts built here to divert some of the headwaters of this river around an area that looks like it's been excavated. And as the Kultirith come out of the trees, they all crouch down, and they're creeping forward, attempting to be stealthy into this area. I'm not sure I was expecting to get quite this far today. I forget how fast things can move when you're not getting into a fight.
Well, we'd already killed all the trolls. We befriended the wargs. The people that are following us don't know we're following them now.
I'd expected at least one of those to turn into a fight, but I'm just as happy they didn't. All right.
We are too.
All right, here we go.
Nice.
Ooh.
All right, so you have been coming up this track in the southwest, and we've got these Kultirith up ahead. The path passes through a narrow cleft in a ring of hills, and so they have come through there, and they're looking at something beyond these hills that you can't see, and they're hiding, attempting to be unseen by whatever's up ahead. So what you gonna do?
Is there a way that we could move into the trees to spy a little better? What do you think, Mhenuk?
Sounds like a plan to me.
Aradion?
Sounds good.
Okay, do you want to move north or south of where they are?
So what I'd like to do, if we're still behind them as I'm looking at the map, could we go to the northwest, which would still somewhat be behind them?
You mean like here?
Yes. Could we get there to be able to spy across that way towards the east?
Okay.
That's what I'd like to do.
All right, so this here is still a ridge. You still can't see into the valley from there. And you can see that they're conferring with one another, planning something, and they apparently don't want whoever is down there to know that they're here. 2 of them have their crossbows out.
And there are 2 of them?
There are 5.
Oh, 5.
Probably a good idea to also pull out my bow. Be prepared.
Okay.
Yeah. I look at Mhenuk and I nod and kind of raise my eyebrows, hoping that he can see that we may be in for a fight.
He doesn't have any eyebrows.
No, I'm trying to let him know I think we're ready for a fight.
Yep, I heft my hammer.
All right, I'm preparing my bow.
Okay.
This just doesn't feel right, so I'm
And we can't see what's like up ahead of them yet, right?
Nope. You wouldn't be able to do that unless you actually went around this ridge up to the north or climbed up it. But if you come out of the trees, they'd probably see you.
All right.
Right now, you're in evergreen trees that are still living, But all these ones up to the north, all of that's dead.
Yeah, I'm thinking we might be able to pull a little guerrilla maneuvering here. Would we have disadvantage on any attacks at this point?
Not unless we change game systems. If you attack them now, they would all be surprised, and you're be attacking from the rear, so you get very significant bonuses to take them down. And since you're using your ranged weapons, though, you wouldn't get the benefit of the ambush skill.
Right.
But you'd still get, it's like plus 45 or something like that to all attacks on the first round.
Well,
of course, you still don't know exactly what they're planning to attack on the other side of this ridge.
Correct. But we still consider them enemies.
Yes, but they're also the enemy of our enemy. Maybe.
That mission battle of 5 armies.
Yeah. I feel like waiting for them to make the first move.
Okay.
As long as we can, at least, until we can't stay in cover anymore. But like, we've got the ridge. We can just use the ridge directly as cover too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which will also give us a height advantage.
Yeah. Okay. If they start moving forward, then the ridge will be between you and you'd be able to climb it without them being able to spot you.
Yeah.
I like the way you're thinking, brother. Let's go there.
Cool.
Let's do it. Let's do that.
I'm just amazed that a bunch of dwarves are going to have a height advantage.
All right, so you wait a couple more minutes, and they finally decide to make their move. They all drop to the ground, and they're like crawling forward through the underbrush, and they're soon out of sight of you. So, do you want to go up to the top of that ridge and see if you can pick them up again?
Yeah.
Okay, up to the top of the ridge, and I need everybody to make another stalk and hide roll, please. This will be a pretty easy one, though.
Good.
And no advantage?
Nope, just straight roll is fine. All right, that is all high enough, probably. Let me go ahead and... Yep. Because I rolled a 0. All right, so once you get up to the top side, or the top of this little ridge, you can look down over this valley, and there's a kind of like a bit of frozen marshland down below you. There's a spring coming out of the side of this hill, but it's mostly frozen. And the Kultirith seem to be crawling toward an orc who is rooting around in the remains of the leaves and branches, and he's got a basket on his arm full of mushrooms. The Kultirith are getting within bow range now. They're starting to get set up, and they're aiming at this orc.
All right.
Who brought popcorn?
Yeah. Nothing looks bad yet.
This sounds like an easy thing. If the orc wins, we fight a damaged orc. If the Kultirith win, we fight some Kultirith. I don't see this as a win-win for anybody else.
I'm not thinking that this is a problem.
Okay.
I mean, the orc's carrying a basket.
Picking mushrooms.
Mushrooms. I mean, at least he is a drug dealer. So, but is that our problem? These Kultirith, I think, are the main issue here. Do we decide to take them out or let them do their what thinks you?
And it's just one orc.
It is one orc. However, everybody give me a perception roll, please. Let's see if you notice.
I don't think I do.
All right. 119 is... Yeah, that's enough. Aradion, you notice that in addition to the orc, there's a tree over here. And hanging upside down in the branches of this tree is a giant bat.
What tree?
You don't see the...
Where's the tree?
Have I not moved you to the new map?
There's a
I have
new
not
map?
moved you to the new map. That would explain a lot.
Oh!
Behold, a new map.
Oh, good.
Hey, that's a cool new map.
Yeah.
Assume that all of this is frozen instead of green.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have a frozen swamp map ready to go on Reddit.
Where are we on this map?
You are not on this map. You are up on a ridge to the west of it, looking at what's about to happen.
Behind them, correct?
Yep, behind them.
I got you.
Behind and to the left. You're like that direction. Okay. So then what is 136 on the missile attack table versus soft leather?
Soft leather, 23 hits and an E critical.
Okay. An E, ouch. They might put him down immediately.
Yeah, so a 16 E critical is a minor forearm wound plus 2 hits.
From an
if
89?
No armor, stunned 1 round.
From an 89?
89?
Yeah, an E critical is plus 20 to that 69.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at the wrong critical. Yeah, no, you're right. Sorry.
I was going to say.
I was looking at the second crossbow critical. Yeah, no, on an 89, my bad. Yeah, 89 is a strike through the lower leg. So no additional hits, but negative activity stunned for 3 rounds.
Okay.
So then if the 85 hits, if that was another attack indeed, then that's another 6 hits.
So it was 23 for the first one?
Yep.
All right, so the orc goes down with a crossbow bolt in his leg, and he's shouting and bellowing. And his bat immediately takes to the air, and it's flying toward the Kultirith, who are now standing up and getting ready to charge with their scimitars. And the bat's going to attack the first of them. 73 is not going to kill him. Since the orc is stunned, this is probably actually going to go pretty fast. So I'll just go ahead and hand wave it, unless somebody wants to actually intervene.
We're watching.
All right, so the Kultirith very quickly butcher this orc. They get down there and they kill him, and the bat flies away. And they still seem to be concerned with being stealthy. Wow, I really expected that guy to last a little bit longer than that. They may have just taken out the most dangerous NPC in the area, in fact.
At least it wasn't Bogger this time.
Right.
We gotta let the other NPCs do something too.
All right, so as soon as they search him, and then they start to creep off a little bit further to the east. So that happened in that swamp area. And then I need each of you that are up on this hill to make a perception roll at -10.
Well, that doesn't matter then. I attempted it. Doesn't mean I'm gonna ever do well.
So our perception rolls didn't give us much info to go on.
You did not find the specific thing that you might have found here. No.
Okay.
Which is really unfortunate for me because it would have been funny.
Well, we could look again.
I feel the need to search.
Let us search again, brothers. I don't think we're finding what we need to find.
Well, strictly speaking, the result on that is you realize that you've missed something, and you can take 30 seconds and roll again. So if you like to, then the two of you could do that.
Here we go. Still -10?
Yep.
More perception?
Yeah, just for the two that almost got it, though.
Ah.
All right, now I can actually take it at -10 too. Nope.
So 104, I think, is still over the threshold where Mhutvak, you still think there's something odd about this hill.
There's nothing.
If you want to, keep taking a look around, maybe you look down where that spring is. Maybe you'd see something.
Okay. Maybe kick some rocks,
Quietly, though.
Oh, I got you. Okay, no kicking rocks.
Now, I don't like the sound of there's something strange about the hill. That,
so you may...
don't know about that.
All right, I'm trying it again. Please.
3 hard perception.
94. It's still a near success. You could keep trying if you want.
What are the Kultirith doing while we're searching?
They're moving on through this. Actually, I'll get to that if we ever succeed or fail this, because there's something interesting going to happen to them too.
Okay.
But,
all right. I'm
you want to keep it up?
Again.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm interested in the interesting things.
Oh.
Yeah. No, whatever it is, it's just a hill.
Told you not to waste so much time.
Making a mountain out of a molehill. I get it.
Yep.
Now, where are those Kultirith?
The Kultirith are starting to cross this swamp, and they're about halfway through when suddenly the ice starts to crack and break. The first thing that you see is this skeletal hand breaks up out of the ice. They just look panicked, and more of it breaks, and all of these skeletons start rising up out of the marsh, and they break and run, and they're headed back your direction. And now, you're still relatively hidden, but they're no longer facing away from you, but they're panicked enough that they still don't see you.
Okay.
So
can I try to hide to get an ambush?
If you want to take a shot at them as they go by, sure.
So I was wondering about getting an ambush bonus.
Yeah. If you hide behind a rock or something, and as they come by, kneecap them or whatever you want to do.
All right.
I guess it's hips that's your thing, right?
I'll try to hide. Yeah. Kneecap would be hip. Hip flexor them. It doesn't have as much of it. Not the same ring.
So you are successfully hidden.
All right.
Are the rest of you joining him in cover here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
Beautiful, beautiful map.
Yes, isn't that lovely?
There's plenty of places to hide.
Look at that beautiful rock. This was Mhenuk's idea, so he gets the pride of place. As these guys run by, you get your choice. Do you want to hit the sergeant or one of the regular Kultirith?
I want to hit the sergeant.
Okay. Make a Warhammer roll, and he is surprised and flanked.
All right. So that is flank 15, surprise is 20, so
And
35.
Defensive bonus is 35, so...
Okay, so 0. Nice.
Nice.
And what kind of armor is he wearing?
He is wearing rigid leather.
100 versus rigid leather is 9 hits and a B critical.
Okay. And remember, you can use your ambush bonus to adjust that up or down.
Yeah, but I can't adjust it by enough to actually affect anything. Is he wearing armor?
That is a good question. Let me check my info here. Kultirith Sergeant does not wear greaves, no.
All right, cool. Yeah, then I'll just keep that critical, and it's a blow to the forearm, 5 more hits, and he's stunned for 1 round.
And what level is he?
He is level 5.
Nice.
The other guys are level 3.
Misters 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Right, and Baga is going to hit the other guy.
And what weapon is he carrying?
He is carrying a spear.
Okay. And did the little Kultirith also wear rigid leather or soft?
Also rigid leather, yes.
Okay.
This guy's defensive bonus is slightly lower, so +5.
Ooh, nice.
This guy is amazing.
Yeah, that's good. That is 40 hits and an E critical.
I'm really near going to have to start making a...
Does he have an ambush? Does he have an ambush bonus?
He does not.
Okay, well, so then that is a strike to the weapon arm. If no armor, bone broken, stunned 3 rounds. Did I say plus 10 hits?
He only had 31 hits left, so...
Oh, okay, yeah, so he goes down. Because I don't think the secondary critical will do anything.
So Baga gets a level 3 kill.
Right.
Yeah, won't do anything.
All right. Anybody else taking an ambush attack here?
Sure, I'll shoot an arrow at the sergeant.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's he's stunned now though. So that's an additional what, Jacob?
Does he get the stun itself is 20.
All right, so it's plus 20 to your attack.
Okay.
Nice. Oh, so you guys are both firing at him?
Yeah, I guess we were. Yeah.
Cool.
You nail him in the arm, stun him, and then he just gets pegged by a couple of arrows.
Yeah, so I don't know how many hits he has left, because that's 19 hits and then 21 hits. You don't get the bonus for the ambush bonus, right, for ranged attacks?
No.
Okay. Yeah, so 19 and 21 hits, and then they're both D-criticals. And these are puncture on both, right? There's no secondary. John, do you have any bonuses on your bow? Because I see you just use the skill and not the token thing.
Yeah, that's right. I did. I'm sorry.
Actually, I think I put the bow's bonus in the character sheet for you.
Yes, I do. One moment. It is... Well, it says Durwood heavy bow, 120 feet range. I don't have anything else other than 120
because actually on your missile weapons attack table, it's a plus 10.
Okay, so it is factored
accounted
in.
for. Yep.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, but in any case, Aradion's critical is a strike to the side of the head, knocked out for 6 hours, 10 hits. If no helm, dies instantly. And your critical... Minor forearm wound, 2 hits. If no armor, stunned 1 round.
Right. So that kill goes to Aradion then.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right. So these 3 guys that are left saw their boss and their friend go down. So then let's see. The slowest is still Mhenuk. So what do you plan to do this turn?
I'm going to hold my action for if any of them approach us.
So you're going to melee if one gets in range?
Yep.
Okay. Who's next?
So the NPCs.
All right. So
Baga and Glock.
they are going to take the better part of Valor and try and go around you that direction. And then Glock he's going to start preparing sleep because that's what he does.
Yeah.
So then Mhutvak, I think that would be you next.
Yes, I'm preparing another arrow.
Okay. Oh, and Baga, he's going to try and intercept one of them. So he's going to move here. So Mhutvak is reloading and Aradion.
Reload.
Okay. So then Baga moves. These guys move. He gets to stab one. This time he does not get tons of bonuses.
He doesn't normally need it.
Right. Oh, this time he manages to maybe fumble. What's the fumble range on a spear? It is 5. So what is his...
Hand arm fumble table. Fumble roll 92?
Correct.
Unbelievable mishandling of your weapon. A friendly combatant near you takes a B crush critical.
Okay, so how do we explain this?
Went to stab and instead he threw it backwards.
Right, so he's like getting ready to like do this overhand stab, and he pulls it back and accidentally lets go. It flies backward and hits this rock over Mhenuk's head and knocks something loose.
Okay.
Which lands on your head.
What do we use as the crush, like as the number for the critical?
Just go ahead and use this primary critical there.
Okay.
So that's going to be crit received.
Yep. Blow to the forearm, 5 hits. If no armor, stunned for 1 round. And I don't think I have armor. Yeah, I do not. So I'm stunned for a round, and I said 5 hits, right?
You did.
Yeah, I'm finally filling in the rest of this.
Cool. So that means I'm stunned through the next round, right?
Yes. All right, so Mhutvak and Aradion have reloaded. It is the next turn. These guys are going to continue to run away because skeletons.
And they don't move yet.
Right, well, this was the where they ended their move last time.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. And how much movement do I get while I'm stunned?
Half of your normal movement, so whatever.
Oh, but I'm also... Why does it... Yeah, because when I mark stunned, it like just takes me down by 50 because of the moving maneuver penalty.
Well, maybe let me double check that. It should be half of your normal movement, I thought.
When I click it, it drops me from 65 to 15.
Yeah, 65 to 15 is also 50. And it's because it gives you a moving maneuver penalty, I guess. Which gets
okay, so yeah, you're stunned for that number of rounds, which means you may not attack, may only parry with half of your offensive bonus, and any other reaction requires a maneuver roll modified by minus 50. So if you try to move, then you're going to have to make a moving maneuver roll at minus 50.
Yeah, well, I want to try to move back to like this square, like back with Glock and Mhutvak.
Okay. I'm going to say that just moving back like that is fine, that you're not going to require... If you're trying to run and catch up with them, that would be another story.
Yep.
But just taking a few steps is fine. They're going to continue running. Baga is going to attempt to throw his spear and hit one of them in the back. Oh, wait, he can't because he threw it at you.
Yeah, he doesn't have a spear.
He threw it so hard, it bounced off the rock and back into his hand.
Okay, so he's going to get out his bow. That's going to be his turn. Glock is going to attempt to go ahead and cast Sleep before these guys get out of range. What about Mhutvak?
Yes, I'm going to fire an arrow.
Okay. And Aradion?
I'm going to shoot at number 2.
Okay.
He's the closest.
So Sleep 7 should be able to get all 3 of them if Glock is lucky. Directed spells. So a 76 on the base spells attack table versus Rigid Leather.
That is a negative 20.
Okay, got a 17, a 75, and a 69. And the resistance roll table, this is a 5th level caster versus a, 3rd level?
Yep. Yeah, top line is attack level. So you said it's a 5th level spell?
It's 5th level caster. It doesn't matter what the level of the spell is.
I'm just trying to remember reading. So across is the spell level and down, or the caster level, and down is the
target level. I think so.
Okay, yeah, so 5 and 3. So that's 60.
All right. So one of them went to sleep.
Oh, is it under? Is it roll under?
They have to roll above that number to resist.
Okay, yeah, because it's 6. Oh, yeah, because it's 60 there.
Yeah, so one of them rolled a 17 and therefore failed to resist. The other 2 rolled above 60 and resisted.
Oh, I see what you mean. Gotcha.
Right. So then missile weapons happen next. Aradion is fastest, so...
Yes.
Which one are you shooting, by the way? I didn't ask.
I was shooting number 2.
Oh, okay, well...
I actually did say number 2.
Well, you still shoot him. He's asleep, but you shoot him.
What's my bonus going to be now?
Well, he is down, so whatever.
If he's down, that is 20.
I'm going to say that this also counts as being surprised and flanked. So that's an additional 35. So 20 plus 25 to the sleeping guy. And yet you still managed to barely hit him.
No, you actually miss.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I was expecting he'll still be standing.
It would have been right through his head. Right, but he fell down. All right, so Mhutvak, which one were you shooting?
Number 3, I think.
Okay. So he is merely flanked, so it's minus 15.
Okay.
Ooh,
Nope.
that's a miss.
So that's all of the missile weapon attacks. Nobody's in a position to make a melee attack. So these guys move all the way over to there. Well, these guys move all the way over to there, along with their arrow.
Oh, so they're past us now.
Yeah. So
Right.
if you wanted to take a shot at penalty for reloading, you may. Baga can shoot still. He'll probably snipe one. So Aradion and Mhutvak, do you want to shoot again?
I need to perceive if there is anything that was following them.
Okay. So you poke your head back around the rock and you see no sign of skeletons. As a matter of fact, you see no signs of broken ice.
Oh, is Baga trying to shoot?
Baga was taking one last shot.
And that's with the malice.
At 4. Yes.
Yeah, 5 hits.
That's not enough to take anybody down, so assuming Aradion is not shooting at anybody with a penalty, then they're going to get away.
We're not going to be able to stop both of them, so it's not worth it.
Okay. Save the arrow.
Yeah, I was thinking...
Yep, let him go.
Baga should grab his spear.
Right. He retrieves his spear and looks very, very embarrassed. Can't be a superhero all the time, I guess. And you do still have the this one last guy that Glock put to sleep.
Oh, that's true. Is there any way we can we wake him up and force him to walk towards the ice?
Yes.
We probably have rope, and Baga has a spear. I would much rather question before we use him for anything like that.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, but yeah, let's tie him up at least and wake him up then.
Question him and be like, yo, dude.
Tie him up on the ice and question him?
I don't want to approach the ice yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
He was going to lead that way, but I figured we might want to question him first because he's not going to get as far tied up. And he might have good information for us, and we might not actually have to take him to the ice yet. I'd prefer to get something useful out of him first, and if there is nothing useful, then I don't care as much.
Then you can sacrifice him.
Exactly.
To the heathen gods.
Whatever. Well, we'll find out what they are.
Okay.
They're skeleton arms out of ice. We'll find out what they are.
All right, so you tie this guy up and slap him awake.
It's your game, Aradion. Go for it.
What you doing here?
He looks absolutely just abject terrified. He's like, I swear we just wanted to get what we were owed. The wizard skated out on us, and we knew that this is where he kept his treasures. So we were just going to come in. We were going to kill the orcs and just get the money. I swear that's all we were going to do. I'm so sorry.
What do you know about wolves?
Well, wolves, they eat the sheep. They sometimes chase the aurochs.
Think bigger.
Bigger? The wizard's wolves. Yeah. He did something, and the wolves worked for him. It's like he's a terrible sorcerer. I didn't want to come even. I mean, I'm so sorry. Please don't kill me. Don't tell the wizard I was here. I'll leave. I won't say anything.
Your friends already ditched you, man.
Taking his last bit of hope. Goodness gracious.
Your sergeant's
I say let him go.
right off.
Now I feel bad about my plan to let the skeleton murder him.
No,
Just let him go.
say that to him.
We need to find out where this coin is before we let him go.
Yeah. What's up with the skeletons?
We weren't expecting skeletons. I didn't know he was a necromancer. I mean, dead things. We just thought it was going to be some orcs and maybe the troll. But even the troll is supposed to be with him in the south. There wasn't supposed to be anybody here. Just a couple of orcs.
I only saw the one orc in the bat.
Well, they're not always together, I guess. I know there's at least 2. We saw 2. And I know, and the troll, but the troll's not here right now.
So where's the coin?
Well, we weren't 100% sure, but we think that they were doing all kinds of digging over there. And so we think that they found the buried treasure where they were digging. And so we were going to go there. And if it wasn't there, then there's some caves, and they might have hidden it in the caves.
It doesn't sound like we want to push you back towards the swamp right now.
Oh, thank you.
Because I have something else for you to do now.
Oh, please just let me go.
Not yet. Take us to where the caves are supposed to be.
I don't want... Can we go around the swamp at least? I don't want to...
Yeah, that's a very good idea. I wasn't planning on touching that swamp.
And if I show you where the caves are, you'll let me go?
We'll see what's in the caves first.
But wait. Oh, so you're not with him then, right?
If we were with him, we would know where the caves were at.
I'm sorry. I'm really scared. It takes a little bit for my brain to catch up with me. I got to figure out where the actual cave mouth is because I wasn't...
It just seems like a good place to start.
Okay, it's up there. Well, that's convenient then. He says that the cave mouth is in a little ridge up here to the north.
Mm-hmm.
And then down here, 12 and 13, that's where they were excavating. So which way around the swamp do you want to go?
The excavations, was this just for the mushrooms or was this something else?
No, the orc was gathering mushrooms down there around the swamp.
Okay.
The excavation, they were digging for something.
Okay.
This guy seems to think that they were digging for treasure.
And the swamp is just 10.
Yes. And then this area over here at 11 is also a larger swamp.
Yeah, well, I think go north then.
Yeah, just go north of the dead trees.
North and then east.
For the things that are supposed to be here, the troll and...
North and then east.
Okay.
Wait, I just noticed the name of the map. It's called Blogoth's Vale.
I figured it wasn't terribly necessary to cover that up since that's a name you haven't heard yet.
Yep.
So do you need another tracking roll from me?
No, because this guy can lead you to where you want to go. I'm just looking to see what you're going to encounter on your way there.
Hey, we have a guide now.
Right. So you creep through these trees. It's kind of hard to see, but there are some more contour lines under there. So you're going uphill, and you look down toward 13 there, and you see that there's some tools in there and tents. Some of the tents are covering trenches. Some of them look like they're there for people to sleep in, but you don't see any sign of actual activity there. A little further along at 12, there are some more trenches. There's no tools or tents that you can see there, and yet for some reason it looks like that's where actual work has been done because the earth there is turned more recently. So for some reason, the tools are all at 13, but the work is being done at 12. What can you see at 11? You see that there's a dam. Actually, it's kind of along here that's blocking the water from flowing down into those trenches that were being dug.
Mm-hmm.
And then up ahead at 8, you can see that there are indeed some cave mouths up there. It's a small, steep hill, and he points out that there's two cave openings in the north side, and then a larger one on the south. And he says that that's where the wizard lives, along with the orcs. I showed you where the caves are. Please, will you let me go now?
I said we were going to see what's in the caves first, and then let you go, depending upon what was inside the caves.
But I never saw what was inside the caves. I just know that that's where he lives, and I really, really don't want to see. If he had skeletons in the swamp, can't imagine what he got in his bedroom.
I don't see any skeletons in the swamp.
Yeah,
why don't you go and show us?
I don't even see anything over there that looks like there were skeletons in the swamp.
I'm not going back there. I saw what I saw.
I just saw a bunch of Kultareth soldiers get scared and run away from a dead orc.
I haven't let him go.
We don't really need him anymore.
You're always so nice, Mhutvak.
Take his weapon, though.
All right. Well, you confiscate his crude spear and weeb and turn him loose, and he just hightails it straight westward. He is not sticking around. At this point, Aradion, now that you've had a little bit of time to relax and get a feel for this area, you feel that whatever is going on that's making this forest feel wrong is strongest here. It's whatever it is, it's happening in this vicinity.
We need to see what's in those caves, fellas.
Yeah.
I concur.
All right.
Caves, about right.
I assume that you want to approach stealthily?
Yes.
Yes.
Do we need to roll for it?
Yes, you do.
Duck hide.
Stalk/hide. Oof.
Finally, elf does some elfin. Oh my.
All right. And your elfing is sufficient to approach unseen and unheard. So let's see if I've got another map of this. All right. So I need the crystal caves.
Ooh, that sounds fancy.
However, I think I don't want to reveal all of it to you all at once. So which entrance were you going to go through? There were 2 on the north side of the hill and 1 to the south.
Well, we're coming up from the south, so
I was thinking the south side, yeah.
South side.
Okay. And you need not test the scale because I already know that it is not correct, Greg.
Okay.
Because I have just dragged this map in just now.
Yeah, we're moving along faster than you expected, huh?
Yes, quite. I was expecting this to happen next week because I wasn't expecting you to just
avoid almost all combat.
Well, avoid all combat, and then I thought that you might want to follow Ethacali instead of coming back here to his lair first, but I misjudged you.
We're just keeping it interesting.
Yep. This is where actually the cool stuff is anyway, though, so that works out. All right, so this southern entrance, if it hadn't been pointed out to you, it would have been pretty hard to spot. And so you come in, and you see that this is like this large granite chamber, and it's bare of any furnishings or anything. The only thing that you see is some wolf droppings.
Wolf.
So then up at the back, you can see that this tunnel goes on for a little ways, and it looks like there's maybe some branches to the sides. Who's in front? Who's taking point? Other than Baga.
Mhutvak?
How dark is it?
It is, right now, it's not terribly dark because you've got light coming in from the cave mouth, but there are no torches or anything in here. So once you get further back in the cave, it's going to be very, very dark.
I'll go first then, because I have infravision.
Okay. All of the dwarves can see in the dark.
Okay.
Aradion can see somewhat well, but if it gets totally black, then he'll be blind. In that case, only Mhenuk would be able to see. So you may control your token.
Okay.
And which direction do you want to go?
Is the vision all filled out? Like these are dead ends to the left and right here?
No, I haven't turned that on because I was still having computer trouble, and because I haven't prepared this map, so you can see like that. And so then here you see that the walls are starting to become covered with these crystals, and here they're dull reddish brown hue.
Okay.
There's a few broken tools and weapons scattered across the floor.
What kind of tools? Mining tools?
Yeah, there's shovels and picks mostly. There's also there's some hammers, a few pitons and that kind of things.
Are there any loose crystals?
If you wanted to try and pry one out, you're probably able to do that with the tools you got lying around here.
Yeah. Have I seen anything like them before?
No, this is very unusual. You haven't seen anything of the sort before.
Yeah, I want to carefully try to pry one off the wall then.
Okay. A couple of taps from one of those hammers knocks one loose. It's about maybe the length of your hand. It feels like quartz or something like that, but you've never seen quartz quite this color.
Is it unusually heavy or light?
Nope.
Okay.
It's about the weight that you'd expect.
Yeah, well, and I carefully put it down, brought it off my hand, and moved to the left a little bit.
All right.
See what's down here.
Can we perceive anything unique about this quartz?
Give me a perception roll, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, dwarves.
Not trying to steal your thunder there, Jacob. Just
You're all good.
let's see. Perceive. There it is.
You don't really think that there's anything mystical or anything about them. They are very unusual kind of growth. So then
Mhenuk, we're following you.
Over here to the left, you've got just more, looks like storage. And then you can see up, there's more tunnel up that direction.
Okay. Yeah, and what about to the right? Does this end or is that?
Yeah, that's the end of it.
That's a dead end. Okay. Yeah, well, then let's keep going ahead here.
So as you get up to that area, I'll go ahead and reveal that you can see that connects.
Okay.
You can see pretty much all of that. So what do we got here? 17. This spot that you're in right now is only 4 feet in diameter. So it's a little cramped for Aradion.
Yep.
You dwarves don't really have a problem with it. You're used to tight quarters. And then up here in this main area, virtually all of the crystals here are severely flawed.
Okay.
There's a lot of boulders in here, and there's a couple more broken weapons. It looks like they're pretty crude. You recognize them as the kinds of things that orcs will tend to like to use.
Yep. And is there any kind of directionality to the way the crystals are flawed, or is it just this room?
No, it kind of looks like maybe if there were orcs here and they were standing guard or something, they were just bored and just started smashing them.
Pathetic.
Man, I wish we still had that Golterith guy.
It's probably something they picked up from elves.
We're not the ones who spend all of our time in caves.
I'm going to move back Because these are just pillars, right?
Yeah, there's some like stalagmite, stalactite pillars, and there's also just some like big boulders.
I gotcha.
In here.
Yeah.
It's a pretty. This is a natural cave, and it's pretty rough, and there's some dips and stuff.
And what's in this? Did you say what was in the 16 alcove?
Yeah, that was the description for this entire area.
Yeah. All right.
Cracked caves.
We're following with you.
Yep.
I think as you pass this direction, you would have seen down that way.
Oh, there's a tunnel.
Yeah, it looks like 3 places that just have stopped that aren't dead ends.
Everybody make a perception roll, please, at this point.
Can do. More perception for everybody.
Mhutvak, you hear a soft sound coming from somewhere. You can't quite localize it. It sounded like when a dog is sleeping and it kind of makes a big sigh, and it sounds like that, like something breathing heavy.
Oh, good.
But yeah, it didn't sound like huge. It was an animal of some kind, you think.
Can I tell from what direction?
No, you can't.
Okay.
And I need to look up exactly what this creature is because I don't recognize that name.
Can I track?
There's nothing to track here.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Now I know what it is. In that case, it's not quite that sound. It's got a kind of a squeaky quality to it. What's your next move?
I want to see because this is a natural wall, but this part I can't see yet, right?
Right. Yeah. There's another tunnel up that direction.
Yeah, I want to look up that way.
Okay. So then, what do we got here?
Would any of my other path masteries help us here?
Give me just a few moments. In this tunnel that you're looking down, there's this huge collection of ugly, dangling wind chimes. It would be very difficult to pass through that area without disturbing one of them and making some noise.
How far low do they go?
They're dangling all the way down to the floor.
Okay. I don't have Sovereign Blue this time.
No, none of those spells are really useful in this particular situation.
Okay. I think it's probably really good for outside type stuff. Okay.
Very rangery.
Yep.
But they're not going to help you a whole lot in a warren of this kind.
Okay. Well, in that case, I want to check that. And we're going to the right.
Okay. As you move into this tunnel, did that reveal anything? I think it didn't. There we go.
Took it away. There it is.
The tunnel narrows, and the crystals here are longer and sharper.
Okay.
It's very claustrophobic, and you think if you try to move too far down in here, if you move without just like the absolute greatest care, you'll start taking slash criticals.
Okay.
Yeah, this seems like not a place that people would be anywhere then.
You do have a slightly larger concentration of wolf droppings in this vicinity.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So am I able to get further, like far enough to see what's going on here? Or
no, if you try to go any further than where you are, you'll have to start making maneuver rolls.
All right. And where are unexplored non-dead ends? This over here is the only one, right?
Yep, you got that area over there.
Yep.
All right. Everybody make another sneaking roll here.
Okay.
Sneak.
Nice.
So 95. Wow, I continue to roll really low. Good for you.
All your perception rolls have been super low.
All right, so you come around the corner and you come face to snout with a rather serious-looking bat.
Okay.
There are 5 of them dangling from the ceiling here. They appear to be asleep, and they're making that snoring, whistling noise that Mhutvak heard before. They've got really long, wicked-looking claws. Let's see if I have a description of them here.
Probably looks similar to that one that was in the tree with the orc.
No.
Oh.
These guys are, there's not really a description of them. But they've actually got, like, fangs sticking out of their mouths, curved, sharp-looking.
Good. Just normal bat things happening. No big deal.
And they're red in color.
Okay. And you said there's 3 of them?
There's 5 of them.
5 of them. So I'm wondering, like, is there enough room that we could, multiple of us could shuffle in and then attack them while they sleep?
You could attempt it. Given that they are bats, they probably got very sharp hearing.
Yeah. And what time of day is it?
That's a good question. See, we had started this. You were following the Kultirith first thing in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So then
probably time for them to wake up.
Yeah, I'm going to say
That's
it's
what I'm wondering.
early evening right now. So
All right.
if they wake up, they're not going to be, at 100%, but it's getting close to their time. The crystals here, by the way, are much dark red.
Okay. Same color as the bats?
Darker than the bats.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to start moving back towards the entrance. I want to parlay.
Even though they are asleep, would a sleep spell still work on them?
No, because the sleep spell doesn't, at least this sleep spell doesn't create a magical sleep. It just puts people into an ordinary sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't change their state at all.
They don't look friendly.
I will say, however, that flying creatures are very susceptible to certain spells that you have. I don't know if you actually have any of them or not.
I don't think I do. I don't really have any attack spells. Most of mine's Blood Ways, Boded Bustle Ways, Nature's Movement, Surfer's Ways, Purification.
Right, I was thinking that you had Air Wall. Yes, you do.
Ah, I did. One's under Creations.
I'm guessing that'll prevent them from flying.
Well, they're going to have a hard time flying through it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
How wide is the wall? How wide is this particular part of the tunnel where they're at?
It is less than 10 feet wide. You could very easily plug the gap with an air wall.
That's what I was thinking. Plug the entire thing with an air wall, just put them in the middle of it, and then just hang out right here where they're at, because they're going to come to us really slowly.
Well, they'll probably try to fly through it and get deflected into the walls.
Exactly. We just let all that take care of it for us, and then we can just sit here and peg them with something.
Should probably look at their stats, so if I can evaluate how likely this is to kill you.
Y'all just want me to pop an air wall, and I'll set back, and we'll just watch more. We'll pull out some popcorn again.
You have the impression that this is a plan that is fairly likely to work. However, it is 8 o'clock, so let's defer it until next time. You've been listening to The Dark Mage of Rhudaur. This module and the Middle-earth role-playing system were published by Iron Crown Enterprises under license from Tolkien Enterprises. Music for this podcast was provided by Dark Fantasy Studio.